And if she would have let that little compromising voice in her mind, that doubt that she had in God, grow and fester and grow into something, because in James says, sin once conceived eventually gives birth to death. If she would have let that stay in her heart, it could have destroyed her ministry, it could have taken out her marriage, it could have changed her, like, who knows where she would be. And so it seemed like a small thing, but man, the consequences of it would have been great. But her responding to it, look what it led to. Look at the fruit that it led to. You see, these things might seem like like a small deal, but they have big consequences. It's like this. Can we be honest? I hope there's no teachers in here. If there are, just close your eyes just a second so a student can be honest. How many of you cheated in high school? If you ain't raising your hand, then you either lying or we all cheated off you. Because everybody probably cheated in high school, and if you didn't, truly, I have respect, but I definitely cheated in high school. And you know what's funny? Like, if we're being honest, and again, if there's teachers in here, I'm so sorry, but if we're being honest, like, was it a huge deal that we cheated in high school? I mean, no, right? Is that terrible to say? Am I gonna never be invited back? Okay, but here's the thing. Here's why I'm saying this. Okay, was it a big deal that I cheated in chemistry? Heart-wise, yes, but like career-wise, not really. Okay, but here's the thing. If I was getting on a table tomorrow to have my brain operated on, and the brain surgeon was like, hey, yeah, I just cheated my whole way through school, I'd be like, dude, I'm not getting on this table. Are you kidding me? No, all of a sudden, your compromise is a big deal. If I was gonna get on a flight to go home from Liberty back home, and the pilot's like, yeah, I've cheated my whole way through aviation school, I'd be like, I'm not getting on your plane, bro. Like, no way. And all of a sudden, that's a big deal. And so what I'm trying to say is, it might not seem like a big deal to you, but it is a detrimental deal to someone else. And that is why you cannot compare your conviction to someone else, because they might not have the same calling as you. That's why you can't say, oh, well, all my friends are doing it, so it's not that big of a deal, because they don't have the calling that God put on your life. If you know it's wrong and you continue to do it, it's a sin for you. I'm a speaker. I get on stage with a microphone. I have a podcast that I talk all the time. I'm constantly talking on a microphone. I'm constantly talking in front of a camera. And honestly, I do not need to sit there and watch a show that's dropping F-bombs and having this inappropriate. I don't need to do that, because from the heart, so the mouth shall speak. So it is a big deal. I have to protect my heart, protect my mind. And the thing is, we act like these things, we're like, oh, well, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. It's not a sin for you to watch that. And no, it's not. But sometimes what I do feel like is we say these things are like gray areas, right? I don't know if we still use that verbiage as much, but when I was younger, I remember in like middle school, high school, being like, oh, well, I don't really know about that because that's just like a gray area. And honestly, that is just like me saying, I am just gonna compromise. Just saying, oh, it's just a gray area, it's not that big of a deal. Because when you start to read the Bible, you start to realize there's not a lot of gray. Like, there's not a lot of gray. God's pretty clear.